Humble. Searching the web for the word humble. 1,613 results found. Displaying top result.
You might be surprised to see me, a guinea pig, next to the definition of the word humble. I mean, I am one of the cutest, cuddliest, and most preferred first-time pets for a family. I could let that go to my head by refusing to let them cuddle me or dress me up in silly costumes. But I'm learning that God sees my heart and wants me to be humble. He wants me to see people for who they are on the inside and to treat them as more important than myself. In the Bible, there is a boy named David who was chosen to be king, not because of how he looked, but because God saw his heart. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me start at the beginning. There was once a man named Saul who was the first king over Israel. Everyone loved him, and he was such a great king. But eventually, he started to think he was better than everyone else. He stopped listening to God, and soon God was sad he had made him the king. God wanted a king who would take care of his people, someone after his own heart, and he had the perfect person in mind. God spoke to a man named Samuel and told him to pack up and go to Bethlehem. There he would meet a man named Jesse who had many sons. One of Jesse's sons was to be the next king. When Samuel arrived, he told Jesse the good news and asked to see each one of his sons. So Jesse brought out his oldest son first. He was tall and strong, a perfect fit to be king. But God said to Samuel, "Do not consider how handsome or tall he is. I have not chosen him." God does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outside of a person, but God looks at what is in the heart. One by one, Jesse brought out the rest of his sons, but still Samuel heard nothing. "How could this be?" Samuel asked Jesse. "Do you have any other sons? Is this it?" That's when Jesse remembered his youngest son, David, who was out in the field tending to their sheep. He brought David in, and sure enough, God told Samuel that he was the one. David was going to be the next king of Israel. David wasn't the oldest, tallest, or strongest, but God saw what was most important about David: his heart. When we think God only cares about how tall or fluffy we are, we forget what matters the most to him. God wants us to have hearts that are humble, like his. He wants us to see people for who they are on the inside and to treat them as more important than we treat ourselves. We can have a heart after God that is humble.